You may not know it, but we are living in the future. We're living in the cartoon kind of future where you can make face-to-face video calls for free. And we do that using Lion's FaceTime. And this is how it works. We'll launch it from Spotlight. That's enough. Press return. And here we are. Now, when you launch it for the first time, if you have an Apple ID set up on your Mac, you will see that Apple ID in FaceTime's window. All you have to do at that point is enter your password. I'll enter mine. And I then click sign in. If you don't have an Apple ID, you can set one up just by clicking on create new account, and you'll be walked through that process. So I'll sign in. I'll click next. And I'm good to go. Now, if I wanted to add another email address, I go into FaceTime, into Preferences. At this point, I can add another email address. Once I do that, a message will be sent to Apple. Apple will send me an email message with a verify link in it. I click on that link, and then that email address is verified. But I'm good for now. So I'm going to click Done. Now, note that you're not going to be bugged for this information every time you come in. And I'll show you how that works. I'm going to quit out of FaceTime now. And now I'm gone. Now, I'll launch it again. And you'll see that you're not prompted for your Apple ID or password. You're just in. So let's actually make a call because that's what this is about. See if I can find my good friend Nick here. Oh, there he is. I select his name and I click on his FaceTime icon. And we're going to make a call to Nick and see if he picks up. Ah, we're connecting. Great. There you are.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, it seems the only time we ever talk is over FaceTime.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so. So this is Nick, Magic Nick, as he's known in the iPad course. And as I hover my cursor over this window, I can not only poke Nick in the nose, as I'm doing here, but I can also do a couple of things. One thing I can do is move into full screen by doing this. Now Nick is right in the middle of the screen, and my picture is off to the side. I can take it back to standard size screen. If I wanted to, I could end the call at this point, but I don't want to do that. What I really want to do is, Nick, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to mute just for a second. And when I do that, it means that you can't hear me. Okay, now it's just us. So let me say again, as I did in the iPad course, is that Nick can still see me. So he can see exactly what I'm doing. And so if you're going to mute somebody, you don't want to do something like, I can't stand talking to this guy because I just hate him. Because that doesn't look good. Instead, you want to look very pleasant, and then you can say, I really can't stand talking to this guy. But actually, Nick is a very nice guy, so it's not the case here. Anyway, I'm going to unmute. Okay, Nick, I was just showing off the mute feature. Absolutely nothing to worry about, and please don't bother reviewing this movie. Would you mind turning your iPad to the side so I can see what that looks like?
Right.
Okay, great. So when he rotates, we move into landscape. Now, can you take it back into portrait mode? Good. I can also rotate here. I have a little arrow here. So now to Nick, I appear in landscape. And now I'm going to appear in portrait. One other thing I can do is move this little window around. You may want to do that if you want to be able to better see what you're doing when you're looking into the camera. So I'll move this back down into the regular position. Nick, I'm going to hang up on you, but I would like you to call me so people can see what it looks like when I'm receiving a call. Okay. I cut him off. I'm terribly sorry, Nick. Okay. Oh, look, there he is. Okay, so I can decline or I can accept, and I'm going to accept. We're connecting with Nick, as you can see. Hey, you're back again.
Okay.
I am so glad that worked. So people can see what it looks like when I'm receiving a call. They've seen what it looks like when I'm making a call. And I need to show them a couple of other features, if you don't mind. Okay, so I have to hang up. So I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll see you later, Chris.
Okay. So I've ended my call. All right, let's look at just a couple of other things. You notice at the bottom, there's a favorites entry and there's a recents entry. Here's recents. That shows that, well, we've talked to Nick recently and we have his conversations here in our recents list. Now, let's go to favorites. I've added some favorites. I can add others if I want to. I can also remove favorites. So let's get rid of this Cunningham guy. I'm not sure. I think Richie is his brother or something. Anyway, I'll go back into contacts. And if I wanted to add this Cunningham guy again, I could. So I just enter, let's see, Jacob. There he is. So I select his contact, and then I click on Add to Favorites. And now he's in my favorites. So all I have to do to call him is click on his name, click on his FaceTime icon, and I've made the call. And there you have it. This is the basics of FaceTime. It's a great way to communicate with people, and I think you'll like it. Quit. And done.